It's been a while, but we are back here with a new edition of Bear Bites, recapping these spring sports. I'm Ben Spicer, joined by Shawnee State SID Kevin Colley, and we've missed you guys. We wanted to come back and kind of recap spring sports because there was a lot of excitement, a lot of great teams, a lot of great athletes, and a lot of great coaching going on here at Shawnee State. So we're going to talk about baseball, softball, track and field, golf, tennis. I don't think I left anything out.
Nope, you did
okay,
not.
good. Okay, we got everything. And I did want to put a little disclaimer out. I'm unprepared. I did not bring my iPad, so I'm reading the script that Kevin prepared here off my phone. So I'm not being rude, I'm not texting, but if you're watching this on your phone, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow our YouTube page up, so check that out. Make sure you head over to social media as well, SSU Bears, and then ssubears.com as well, where Kevin has all the coverage. Let's kind of look back at the spring sports. We'll start with baseball, where the baseball program, we talked about it on a past episode, they're really starting to see some growth and made some noise at the conference tournament and throughout this 2024-25 season.
Yeah, they finished 29-16 this year, third place in the River States Conference tournament after being fourth last year, I believe. You win more games and less games because you only played because of awful weather conditions for most of the spring, only played 45 games as opposed to the 47 in 2024, but you still win more games under Coach Rob Ehlers. And the thing that really impresses me is how the team peaks at the right time both years. Won 12 consecutive games in 2024 to set a new program record, won 11 consecutive games this past year, and they're 23-7 between the months of April and May.
Wow.
You want to talk about a coaching staff that's prepared, they're the epitome of that. And I think the thing that impresses me the most about Coach Ehlers, Drew Lowe, assistant coach, and then Coach Krebs, Stephen Krebs, who's coming in, and he's a volunteer assistant. The season ended Monday, and like literally the next day, they were back in there and recruiting, and they have already got some really good pieces. This is going to be a fun year, I think, to watch in 2026, see what Coach Ehlers and his staff and team can accomplish, because those guys are working. I know Carson Wireman has really worked hard in the weight room and has done a really good job, as has Trevor Fike, who's taken a redshirt year, but he's been working. So the pitching staff already looks like it's going to be on an upward climb. It took a little bit of a step forward last year with depth and talent, and I think you're going to see more of the same this coming year, as well as a veteran lineup that produces from 1 through 9.
Yeah, we saw some accolades. Several guys winning Players of the Week, Pitcher of the Week, and I think we had a National Player of the Week winner as well, and Jace Parnan was on that incredible tear late in the season.
Yeah, that's a thing too. I mean, Jace academically is awesome. He has above a 3.65 as a transfer here. I mean, and it's not just you're taking 1,000 level courses. I mean, he's taking 2,000 to 3,000 level courses and is deep in his accounting program or business management program and doing really good things in it. So it's not like he's being given grades. I mean, he's going out.
He wasn't a comm major like me. That's what Kevin's trying to say.
And he wasn't a sport management major like me. So, but Dr. Rader, in all seriousness, he does have a really great program. 100%. But he's done really good work in that. But yeah, he was a National Player of the Week. He had reached pace in 17 consecutive appearances, which is nuts. I don't care who you're playing, it's nuts. And conference tournament wise, I think at some point when you win 11 straight games, it's just baseball. You're playing every day. You've got guys playing, 3 games, 4 games, 4 days. You are going to have faults. I mean, it's baseball. There's so much that goes into it with hitting and timing of hitting and the repetitions. It's so hard to be crisp every day. And playing at Oakland City was the best team in the conference regular season and conference tournament wise. They proved that. They beat up on everybody in the conference, and Shawnee State actually performed better against Oakland City than anybody else did. So I think as far as maximizing, Jace maximized his season, and a lot of guys maximized their seasons, and the coaching staff maximized the talent that they had, and as a result, the team maximized its finish. So great results.
Let's look at softball now. You talk about a senior class leaving their mark on the program. What the softball program has done over the last 2 years under Coach Bradshaw, amazing. But I think you can say the same for as the baseball team, where they have a lot of youth, young players to be excited about.
Yes.
The case is the same for the Shawnee State softball team. Kind of wrap up the 2025 season for the softball team.
Yeah, 63-29 over the last 2 seasons. They went 27-18 this year. There were going to be some growing pains with as many freshmen starting in the lineup as there were this year, at times playing 4 position players as freshmen, and then having 2 pitchers as freshmen that saw significant innings.
Right.
So you probably have 10 to 15 players seeing significant time, and 6 of those being freshmen. There's going to be ups and downs. So to finish 27 and 18 with a freshman class, largely that's coming in there as true freshmen playing for the first time significant innings at the collegiate level is outstanding. That's a credit to, like you said, the 5-person senior class: Cam Davidson, Mackenzie Hale, Bianca Bello Diaz, Genevieve Espinoza, and Emma Wargle all did outstanding. Mackenzie Hale was a 2-time repeat first-team All-RSC performer that fielded for her career over 980 at first base, that's basically as a 4-year starter that probably had over 1,000 fielding chances. So that's incredible, and solid as a rock, hitting in the 4-hole the last 2 years, hitting over around 350 to 370 on average for the season. Mackenzie had an outstanding career, great leader, great person to be around, hard worker, always in the weight room. Bianca Bello Diaz is a person that the Golden Bears just love so much. I think that might be the Golden Bears' favorite athlete. But she does so much for the Golden Bears, cares about the Golden Bears, is genuine with her love and passion for what they bring to the table, their support. They were there supporting her at basically every Shawnee State home softball game, and that's wonderful that an athlete took that much time to care that they're coming out to support softball like that. It's a credit to both sides for the dedication they had to each other. Bianca was a 2-year starter at second base and is going to be missed, especially for her fielding glove. It felt like any time there was a ball hit second base, I feel like any time it was a 4-3 put out, it was a sure thing. And then Emma Wargle and Genevieve Espinoza were key cogs in the pitching staff. That's going to be huge next year to replace that production. Emma Wargle has all-conference talent, was a second-team All-RSC performer this year. Could have been an All-RSC performer last year if it wasn't for injury, but had a solid year this year. Genevieve Espinoza and Cam Davidson not only pitched, but then they DP'd. Genevieve hit over 330 as a DP, or over at 310 to 330 as DP, and then was a great pitcher at times this year. Did a really good job with moving body around, kind of a control pitcher that did a good job changing speeds, and did an excellent job against Rio Grande. Shawnee State won, I believe, the opener of that, 1-0, and Cameron Davidson hit over 400 as a DP this year, had a great year, first team All-RSC, and then overcame a whole lot off of the softball field, with some family health issues to perform at a high level, and that was great for Cam to have that kind of year with those circumstances in mind. So definitely Cam did a great job finishing out her career. And then you look at that freshman class with Emily Moore being a second-team All-RSC performer, and her range at shortstop has translated beautifully to the college level, and she made a much faster adjustment to that level than I anticipated, as did Emily Cheatham, who played in right. And then you had Sydney Skyver that played at third base, had a solid freshman season, basically started every game or close to it. And then you've got the 2 cogs at the top of the lineup, Jenna Christopher, who set the stolen base record with 26 stolen bases. Only the highest total was 21 before Jenna broke that. She's only 6 off of tying the record, and she's only been here 2 years as a full-time starter. Says a lot about her. And then Sierra Dunnigan hitting over 400 each of the last 2 years, and has a great approach at the plate. It's just a threat any time to reach base when she comes up to bat. And just like the baseball program, the softball program has been working really hard in recruiting. I'm really, really excited about the talent they've landed. I really think they've got a great opportunity to contend for a national tournament berth next year with what they've landed already.
All right, I'm ready for the 2026 season to start. Let's go. There are some numbers I wanted to point out. I think we skipped over these, but these are some academic stats. So I want to share those. We'll go back to baseball. Shawnee State had a program record, 8 individuals named as NAIA Scholar Athletes with a program record, 17 individuals named as academic all-conference honorees this past year. Then on the softball side of things, this was the best 2-season stretch since 98-99. We were young pups back then when the program went 74 to 20 and 22. Then academically, softball excelled as well. That's the baseball program. A program record 11 individuals named as NAIA Scholar Athletes. Incredible 22 of 24 players on the roster hold cumulative GPAs over 3.0. That's amazing. So you're getting great athletes and great students as well.
Yeah, and then to add on to that, with the College Sports Communicators Scholar Athlete list, baseball and softball combined are one of only 2 NAIA programs in the entire country to have at least 3 NAIA national finalists on both the baseball and softball side and the College Sports Communicators Academic All-America voting. Doesn't mean they'll get All-America, but they are in the national ballot final deal. The only other program is Kaiser out of Florida. And Shawnee State's the other. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's look at track and field. We got the chance to go up to track and field nationals up in Marion, Indiana. Still haven't warmed up since then. It was fun.
It was very cold.
Not ideal conditions, unfortunately, but we had several Shawnee State athletes become All-Americans and really performed well. And again, that's another program under Coach Flynn, under Coach Blizzard and Coach Eastham that's really on the ascent, it seems like, and they're just building and getting better and better.
It used to be distance running U, and I think it is safe to say it's transitioned into and Eric Putnam did a fantastic job setting the standard and making Shawnee State a destination for cross-country and track and field runners all across Ohio. I think what Connor Flynn is doing is he's building on that, but then he's also expanded the reach to where, we've had a lot of great field athletes that have come out of Sauter County, Pike County, Ross County, and even in Lawrence County and other areas around the area, and he has poached those beautifully. Luke Rader, now a 2-time NAIA All-American already. He's only been here 1 track and field season, and he's already won 5 conference championships and NAIA All-American twice in the indoor and outdoor long jump. From Minford, a great athlete, transferred from Marshall, and he is a bona fide stud in everything that he does. I know Connor and I have talked, and he said he wouldn't rule out being a decathlon athlete in the future, and I could see that. He's got all that ability in the world to be that and be in that top 16 that could compete for a national decathlon championship potentially. But even if not, he's going to have numerous opportunities if he stays on the course that he's at to compete for a national title straight up in long jump, possibly triple jump, and the hurdles, 110, 55, and indoors. So there's tons of potential there with Luke. And then Alan Austin is a terrific athlete, has a great mentality. He has worked really hard. He won 5 River States Conference Outdoor Field Athlete of the Week honors. He was Outdoor Field Athlete of the Year. Just terrific approach. He may have not placed in the finals of discus, but make no mistake about it, he is a top 10 easily national discus thrower, and he's going to have every chance in the world to be an All-American next year in that event if he performs even close to what he did during the regular season. If he can even be at 50 meters or 51 meters, he's going to have a great chance. And then Isaiah Lanoy has been a tremendous athlete, and he's really grown. I think he has maybe grown more than any track and field or cross country athlete over the last year with his approach, his discipline, the overall mental aspect of the events. I know it's shown in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, which is his best event. He went from being a NAIA national qualifier who didn't make it out of prelims to falling down during the prelim race hard, finishing 9th in the prelims and qualifying for finals even after that fall. And then he finished 13th in the nationals, but was leading the pack for about 4 laps. And you're going to have moments like that. It's just learning when to go. I probably jumped out maybe a little bit too early when he was going. But at the same time, it's his very first outdoor national final championship meet, and you're competing against British Columbia, who had 2 studs, that were 1-2 in the race, and then you have to learn those things as experience will show. So, but being 4 for 4 over the last 4 NAIA national championship meets is incredible. And then Eli Atkins is just a terrific athlete, and he still hasn't tapped into his full potential yet. Cleared 6'9" at the River States Conference Outdoor Championships, swept the high jump in both indoor and outdoor at the RSC meets, and did a great job clearing 6.5 at the finals to tie for 8th place. I know it wasn't what he wanted as his best mark, but he's still an NAIA All-American, even though that wasn't the mark that he wanted. If he can clear even 6.9 next year, he's going to have a great chance to possibly finish top 5. He's an excellent athlete and a true freshman at that. So with those 4, the track and field program's in great hands, indoor and outdoor, and there's going to be some huge additions to that program that literally will have, that could have Shawnee State contending for national championship hardware, and this goes beyond field events. Talk about sprint events. There's a big time recruit that's been landed by Shawnee State that could possibly be one of the best ever to do it here, if not the best ever to do it here. That will possibly change the game for a lot of track and field athletes here, the attention for the program as well. So I'm looking really forward to seeing how that progresses for the men.
Awesome. Well, on the women's side of things, there were 2 national qualifiers who got to compete up at the national championship in Marion, Indiana. That was Olivia Cisco and Natalie Brammer. Kind of talk about the women's side of things up there in Marion.
Yeah, so Olivia did an outstanding job, like Isaiah, Illinois. Olivia has qualified for each of the last 4 national championship events between track and field and cross country, and I'd say right with Isaiah, Olivia's probably shown the most growth in her running events, as evidenced in that 10,000 meter final, where she ran almost 2 full minutes faster than her previous 10,000 meter run time at the NAIA National Championships in 2024, finishing 14th this year. I think it was in the higher 36 minute as opposed to high 38 minute bracket. So it says a lot about Olivia and where she can go, and she has a real chance to compete for NAIA All-American honors as a senior in 26. So that's going to be great. And another, again, local product from right down the road in Waverly, like Alan Austin from Piketon. So again, doing a great job keeping local athletes here that are really good and finding that untapped potential, or even tapping into the potential they've already hit somewhat and then building on that. And Olivia's younger sister also joining the program, Hadley Cisco, which is going to be a big addition as well. So that's going to add to the cross country and track and field pieces that Shawnee State already has. And Natalie Brammer is quintessential team player, never has a bad attitude anytime I've ever seen her. She's always upbeat and positive and has a great spirit, and again was a qualifier indoor and outdoor this year and competed at both. Did a great job, finished above her seed line, and is another local product from right down the road in Weaversburg. So great to see those 2 performing at a high level. And then I also think that Jessica Ewick and Kirsten Evans, Beth Middleton who's from West Carter, Ewick's from Medina, Kirsten Evans is from Jackson, so they're all relatively close, within about an hour's drive of here. So those are 3 more athletes that I could see making the next step. Jupinder Allen's coming back from injury, is another positive attitude type piece there that is going to be big, and Amanda Salmons is another Berg piece that is in the program, and Sydney Reed. So those are all big pieces that are going to help the women go forward, as I don't think they lose anybody from this year's team. So either cross country and track and field, I think Hayden Walmsley is literally the only person that they lose from the prolific high jumper that finished 11th last year at the NAIA National Championships. I believe that is the only person that the women lose, that's really been a really big vocal piece to that team. Jana Bailey, another from Rock Hill that's coming back, and is a prolific hammer thrower that was RSC runner-up in that event this past year twice. So that's going to bode well for the women in 26, contending possibly further up the RSC ladder in the standings.
Awesome. I love it. Before we close out this episode of Bear Bites, we'll talk a little bit about golf and tennis, kind of wrap up both of those programs, how the season went for them.
Well, the men's golf program did an excellent job. I think that the improvement was very noticeable from 24 to 25. I think 24, they struggled to get a lineup with 4 to 5 guys that were consistent. I think they had guys that did work hard. I just don't think they could ever find true consistency. This year they did have that. I think they found 6-man rotation consistently and were able to stick to that throughout the year. And as they did that, the guys grew. Trey Craycraft had a tremendous year. I know he'll have to work maybe on his short game, putting wise, based off just short conversations that I've had. But as a guy that can drive the ball, he's as good as anybody in the conference. He finished 6th at the River State's conference championship meet, and there are thoughts that he makes a couple putts here or there, he might be top 3, and maybe even who knows, qualify for the national tournament, as an individual. So he shooting 76, 76, 74 over 3 days, very consistent, and he's grown a lot in that area. And another stud from Mason County on the golf side that has done a terrific job, BJ Knox. Shawnee State lucky enough to get him after he transferred in from Campbellsville, had a great career here when he was here golfing, and then Trey's just another one in the line. I know they sent guys to Eastern Kentucky at D1 level to golf, so they've got a tremendous program at Mason County, and we've been fortunate enough to have 2 of their guys at Shawnee State. Trey's really done a great job growing. He's got 2 more years, so he's going to have a real chance to be one of the best golfers to ever do it here on the men's side. And Tanner Stevenson had a great senior year, very consistent, was top 15 or above in most events. I know he was all-tournament at the High Christian Spring Invitation along with Trey Craycraft and Ross Farrell. Ross Farrell had a great junior season, and he's going to be a leader next year. He was kind of a leader this year already, and he was RSC Golf of the Week after his performance in Alice Lloyd, and then UPike Invitational in Prestonsburg, I should say, and then he was all Ohio Christian Spring Invitational Tournament team. And then there's other guys like Logan Hughes, another golfer from Kentucky from Fleming County that's got great ability. His older brother Jordan played in the program. Like Jordan, he also bowled. Great family, like them a lot. They're very just consistent. You know what you're going to get from Logan all the time, just like Jordan. Max Kearns, a talented golfer from Moeller High School out of Cincinnati. He was kind of that 5 to individual 6 guy that played some. And Kyle Salomon from Medina, Ohio. So he's going to be big time, I think, as well. He had some very good individual rounds, and I thought really grew over the last month of the year. So they lose Tanner, but everybody else coming back. So that, again, that's another team that's going to have a real chance to climb up the ladder if they just stick with the program and keep getting in the golf simulator and working. So.
Absolutely. What about the women's side of things?
Not losing a single person as of right now that I can tell. Everybody that comes back has eligibility left. Allie Wellman and Sydney at Belleville are great to watch. Sydney tied the lowest round for any individual already in the fall with a 76 and tied old coach Holly Hart's 18-hole record, and is a tremendous golfer out of Ironton that's got tons of potential. And Allie Wellman has been a consistent 2-year, 1 or 2 top of the leaderboard performer from Wayne. So, as they like to say, out Wayne. So she's going to be a key leadership piece. And Brenda Spencer has been big out of Piketon. I think she's basically solidified herself as the number 3 golfer. And again, they return everybody. So there's a real opportunity for the women to climb the ladder as well, and see where they're at coming in 26 in the River States.
What can you tell us about tennis before we sign off here?
So tennis, we have all third team, all RSC recipients on either side. Daniel Cristobal Cervantes, and Daniel has definitely taken it upon himself to provide consistency at that one slot. And then on the women's side, Antonia Ayulia from Spain. And then you have Mackenzie Harmon from East Liverpool, Ohio. We're together playing at one doubles a lot. Sometimes Brooklyn Foos, they would change it up, and I think Brooklyn Foos would play with Antonia at the 1 or Miranda Johnson at the 2, and then Mackenzie would do it as well, switch around. But both had good years at singles, and I was really pleased with Antonia. I think she definitely improved, and this is not to bash any tennis player, but definitely improved more than any other tennis player in terms of her mental approach to the game, more than even her talent level. But her mental approach to the game this year was terrific and did a great job. I know she had a great win against Indiana Southeast. Macy Vaughn at number 1 singles won that match. I believe it was 7-6, 6-1, so did a great job acquitting herself at number 1 singles, and Antonia's gone and Mackenzie's gone as seniors who finished their eligibility. So women's tennis program might be in for a little bit of a rebuilding year, as Brooklyn Foose is also gone, but Miranda Johnson is going to be back, and I'd say she'll be a key piece going forward. And then the men's tennis side, Zinedine and Daniel are both back. They lose Adam Stanley, but Adam is their only loss from that team last year. And Adam was a terrific personality, and he's going to be missed because he brings a lot of energy, great vibes to the team. But I think the men's tennis program has a chance to rise up the River States Conference ladder in 26 also.
Well, as we've kind of talked about, all these programs had great seasons in 2025, but it looks like they're loading up for even better years in 2026. So we're excited to bring you all the coverage. Make sure you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. We've got future episodes of Bear Bites coming up later this summer that you won't want to miss, so stay tuned for that. For Kevin Colley, I'm Ben Spicer. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.